TRT is a highly effective organization because of people like you. Whether participating in a river cleanup, helping to restore the watershed, advocating for higher in-stream flows by testifying at hearings and submitting written comments, or providing financial support, every action you take adds to our success. Thank you so much for being an integral part of TRT.
The work that the Tuolumne River Trust does, we do it through education, advocacy, and restoration. And these three strategic approaches, though they're distinct in their style, they all really go together as a complete package. In the Sierra Nevada, we've seen significant problems with our forests. We've just had a lot of fires throughout the state, and the Tuolumne River specifically, we had the Rim Fire, which burned 250,000 acres. This is due to many years of fire suppression, where we've been just putting out every fire, and also poor management decisions like clear-cutting, logging, and taking all the largest, most resilient trees. We've been really successful working with many partners in a collaborative called the Yosemite Stanislaus Solutions Collaborative to replant the forests that burned so severely during the Rim Fire, but also to thin out some of the unburned areas that are overly dense, that have too many trees, and so they're really just primed to burn really hot again. And the other key part of all of this is we want to get good fire back on the landscape.
You can see here one of our reforestation units. In the background you can see the forest, but in the foreground there isn't any. This landscape was devastated by the 2013 Rim Fire, which killed all of the forest structure and some of the landscape. We're working on reforesting this landscape to create habitat for native species such as deer. This used to be a critical landscape for deer in the winter, and by returning that landscape to its forested conditions like you can see in the background here, we're helping to ensure a sustainable and connected landscape capable of providing habitat for generations to come.
Here in Modesto, we're at the Tuolumne River Regional Park, one of the oldest portions of this park system, and it's a beautiful location, these grand old oak trees here, and so we want to kind of replicate that at another site downstream. It's part of the Tuolumne River Regional Park that has not been developed. It's an empty field, and we're planning to turn that into something similar, a grand beautiful park like you see here.
Last year we started this new program called Activate, and the vision for Activate was just to give youth more leadership experience, more opportunities to be involved in the community, as well as recreation, of course. And there was like a new component with it that was environmental justice, so teaching youth what environmental justice means and how that is connected to them and their communities as well. That's definitely something that I've noticed that's not taught in schools, but it's important because we're creating like a new generational pattern that was not there, and once we are able to teach these youth skills, whether that's going camping, like life skills, leadership, they carry those to their younger siblings, to their kids in the future. Like I said, it begins like a new pattern that was not there before, and it just carries on.
Pues para mí me gusta mucho que ellos se involucren en eso para que ellos mismos vean cómo se debe de cuidar la naturaleza y cómo entre todos podemos transformarlo. Cuando hay limpiezas, enseñarles que los parques se tienen que cuidar y respetar también, porque es el medio donde ellos pueden crecer y convivir con demás niños.
In terms of bigger community wins, there's been a multi-million-dollar active transportation project that will begin construction in about 2.5 years. Half of that community will get sidewalks and then Class 1 bike lane, in other words, a protected area to go to and from the community to the river park. The community is really learning a lot about the different public processes and why it's important for them to be involved, because in the end, it's they themselves that know what's best for the community. It's just the tools that organizations like the Tuolumne River Trust can help to support.
When I was invited to be an advisor for the Tuolumne River Trust, for me it was like a no-brainer because of our relationship that we have developed over the years. I'm really excited, and I feel like I'm not moving anywhere, and my kids are going to grow, and hopefully one day they'll become the advisors or become a board member or whatever needs to happen to continue investing in the river. And I want to plant those seeds now with them. My kids planted 2 trees that are like right smack in the middle over there. So they've been part of like cleanups, they've been different parts of river rafting, they've been part of Rec Fest. Me and my son ride a lot of the trails up and down the river. All the way to Carpenter and then back. So we spent a lot of time in the river, and then this park, as a child, I kind of like grew up coming to this park. Now it's like you actually see a lot of physical improvements, things that have happened, especially here, because this park has been in existence for a long time, and to see all that has been developed and kind of like the progression that it has taken, but at the same time, the people, the leaders from this community owning a lot of what's happening here has been incredible.
Operation 9-99 began with a kayak trip down the river, and the river was pretty badly blighted and was in need of some attention, and so I tried to find out who would be in charge of keeping it clean, and other than the Tuolumne River Trust, there really wasn't a lot of people involved in that. Over the years, we've been able to clean up hundreds of tons of material out of the river, and we've had thousands of people come out and participate. And the success of cleaning up the river has caused more people to come out and recreate along it. And so we've got improved park spaces and things like that. And the challenge is to continue that and keep it from falling back to a state of blight and letting people come back and kind of compromise the river, its health and the environmental impact that they can have sometimes. The dream scenario is that it's clean, that it's used by people for recreation, that we turn our face to the river and we start building the kind of amenities and infrastructure that not only will protect the river, but will draw people here, a regional destination to come and ride your bike and go for a walk and paddle your kayak, and that we have a vital river that's full of wildlife and has all the things that it could have, along with producing the water that's used for our valley and to grow crops. We can have a clean river and we can take care of the water that's in it, and we can see a vision where that is a total improvement for Modesto as a regional recreation destination.